Hello everybody, my name is ArashiYT, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you the season review for the MPL Season 7. The MPL Season 7 ended for us a couple of weeks ago, and now we're going to take a look back at the months that I've used in this season, the matches that we had, and how we did in this season in general. Of course, we didn't reach playoffs, but that wasn't really a surprise for me because there are a lot of good coaches in this league, so I knew we were going to have a hard time against every coach in this league that we had to battle. And in the end, we got 2 wins in this season and 7 losses because we had 9 matches in total. So that all ends up being a 2-7 win and loss con with a differential of -14. So that sounds negative, but for me personally, I think we had a pretty fun run in the MPL. We got to use some mons that I really wanted to use in Draft League format, especially with Generation 8 now coming our way, and we don't know which mons are going to be in that game. So, you know, trying mons out that I haven't been using in the past in Draft League format is now going to be very important because you don't know if we're actually going to get the opportunity to use one of these mons in the upcoming generations. Yeah, so that is what we're going to do. We're going to do this step by step. So first we're going to look at the draft that I had, and I did not make any trades in this season because I was comfortable with this team as a whole and I did not want to mess that up by doing any trades. And I could have possibly done 1, maybe 2 trades in this team, but again, I did not want to mess up the whole synergy that I have with my team because at the end of this season, of the general season, I feel really comfortable using a lot of these mons that I have. So let's actually go and see which was the team that I've drafted for this league, which I am doing this on draftleague.nl, an amazing website for all your draft league pleasures and needs. It's an amazing website and everything is just so set up that it's easy to find something, it's easy to find the stats, and it's easy to just show you guys how the season looked for us. So big shout out to Alamatic, who is the maker of the draftleague.nl website, and I think he has Patreon. If I remember, I will try to put that in the description below, so be sure to check that out. But our team was looking as followed. We had a Mew, we had Terrakion, we had the Mega Beedrill, we had Diggersby, we had Rotom Wash, we had Goodra, we had Comfey, we had Torkoal, of course, the MVP. You know, kind of my mascot right now for the channel, together with like Sandslash, Noctowl, and all the other mons that I really like. Shiftry, Togedemaru, and Driftblim. Now, let's go from the top to the bottom, how I use these mons and how I think that I use them, and if I did bad, if I did good. So first off, Mew, which was one of our sea captains. I only used it 4 times. And I think I could have done better with that. So right away from the bat, Mew is a mon that is just amazing in Draft League format. You can do so much with it. It's so versatile. But most of the time, if I see a Mew, I want to use like a very defensive, bulky Mew, like Rocky Helmet. Put some defensive moves on that. But I think I could have maybe used Mew also a little bit more offensively in this league. I got 2 kills with Mew, but 3 times it died. It lived in 1 match. And as I said before, I only brought it 4 times out of the 9 matches. So not really good, but I think that's more, as I said before, you see Mew more as a defensive mon than an offensive mon, and I'm an offensive coach, but I probably could have done more with Mew, you know, watching over the whole season. So Mew, I would say that I could have done better, but what I did with Mew was kinda okay. Then Terrakion, Terrakion was one of the surprises for me. Terrakion got 6. I brought it 6 times from the 9 matches, so a lot of the matches. Only 3 matches that I didn't brought Terrakion. I got 6 kills with it. 5 times it died. Maybe I could have done a little bit better with Terrakion in terms of the offensive side, but what I did, it did well. Terrakion is an amazing mon in Draft League format, and yeah, there's nothing much to say. I really wanted to use Terrakion in Draft League format because I've heard so many good things about it, and as I said before, I think I could have done a little bit better, but I think I did better with Terrakion than I did with Mew, if that makes any sense. So Terrakion, I did pretty well. Then Mega Beedrill, I brought it 8 times of the 9 matches, so one time I didn't brought it, only got 4 kills. We can just say that I've not played that good with Mega Beedrill. I've expected more from Mega Beedrill, and I've used it to my fully potential, but I think it's just too much of a frill mon to actually work with the playstyle that I have. Mega Beedrill is very offensive, but also very frill, so you have to build a team around it that can actually make sure that it can do what it can actually does best, and that is just wreck house. And I think this team isn't really the best team for Mega Beedrill, so I think that's just the part where I just messed up building a team around Mega Beedrill, which I didn't. But yeah, basically that. 4 kills in 8 matches, it died 6 times. It could have done better. But then we're going to get to one of the MVPs for this season for the Groningen Noctowls in this MPL, and that's Diggersby. I really loved using Diggersby. I was always a little bit on the side of Diggersby. Like, I heard a lot of people say that if used right, it can be an amazing mon in Draft League format. But I'm like, yeah, normal ground type, I don't know. Huge power, yes. But now that I've actually got a chance to use it, I'm a complete believer of Diggersby. It's an amazing mon to use in a Draft League meta. It can do so much. You can put a choice scarf on it or a choice band on it. You can even put a live orb on it if you want to have more variety in terms of choosing your moves. But you know, choice band or choice scarfed Diggersby, and then if you speed credit on the side based on what your opponents are running, it can just do a lot of damage. And I've used a lot of facade Diggersby because I'm always scared that if I use like a return Diggersby, I can't gen myself, so I have to ask people to gen for me, and then I'm always afraid that return won't do as much damage as it should. It's one of the reasons why I run facade more in this league, and it just did what I needed to do. The facade also just does the damage, even if you're not burn toxic or whatever. Diggersby is an amazing mon. If you get the chance to use Diggersby and you're still a little bit on the edge, like, is it really a good mon? You know, if you have the chance to use it, I would say do it. It's an amazing mon to use. Then we're going to Rotom Wash. I can just be honest, I didn't use it that good. Rotom Wash is an amazing mon, but I didn't use it to my fully potential. I tried to, you know, brought a more offensive Rotom Wash, but it didn't work out in most of the matches that I had. So Rotom Wash is definitely a mon that I want to use in the future, but better, if that makes any sense. Then we're going to get to the MVP. I said Diggersby was one of the MVPs, but this mon is the MVP of the Groningen Noctowls for the for the Groningen Noctowls in the MPL Season 7, and that is Goodra. I always said that I wanted to use Goodra in Draft League format because I know it's a good mon. I have faced off against so many Goodras, and every time I had to, you know, this mon just, you know, wrecked my team, and I was like, I have to use this mon for myself one day. And I got the chance to use it in the MPL Season 7, and my god. I mean, it got 9 all over the board. We've used it in all 9 matches. That is how much confident I was using Goodra in this season. I've used it in every match. In every match, I think I've used like Assault Vest Goodra because that's just the best Goodra set possible. I know you can put like a choice specs on it if you really want to play a little bit more risky on the offensive side, but most of the time I would slap just an Assault Vest on the Goodra, a lot of bulk into offensive in the special attacking side, and on the bulk side in defense. And then look at this, 9 matches played, 9 times it did die, so it didn't survive in any of my matches, but it got 9 kills total in this league. Goodra is also a mon. If you haven't used Goodra before, be sure to use Goodra. Goodra is just an amazing mon, and it's the MVP for the Groningen Noctowls this season for a reason. So next up we have Comfy. Comfy, I think I can just say the same with Mew. I've used Comfy. I've used like a Life Orb Comfy set throughout this whole season. I think maybe I swapped out another item for Comfy, and I tried to, you know, use a very offensive Comfy set in this league, but it didn't got any kills. It died 3 times, so it survived 1 match, but I can use Comfy better in the future if I use Comfy. So Comfy is a little bit like Mew Rotom Wash. Like, maybe I will try to use it in a next draft league, and then hopefully I can use it better. Then Torkoal did what it needed to do. Torkoal just did what it needed to do again. Used Torkoal in 8 of the 9 matches. It got 5 kills again. It died 8 times, but Torkoal is just a beast. It did what it needed to do in the matches that I brought it. And I tried to experiment a little bit with no water bulb Torkoal, so it can absorb water attacking moves and maybe, you know, increasing my special attack with that. I've used more Shocker Berry variants of Torkoal because it helped me out a lot in certain matchups, and I can just, you know, use like a leftover Torkoal if needed and put some more bulk to it, and then it can survive a hit and deal some damage itself in the draft. Torkoal is just amazing. I love Torkoal. Now Shiftry I haven't used at all in this league. Now, when I drafted Shiftry, I was like, okay, I needed a good grass type. I saw Shiftry, I was like, okay, we have Drought with Torkoal. Maybe we can use Shiftry in this season with Chlorophyll and try to do some work. But very unlucky for us. In every match that we had, in every 9 match that we had to play, and there are 16 coaches, so there was like 9 matches, I think 7 coaches that we didn't have to face off, if my calculations are correct, like 6-7 coaches that we didn't have to face off. Every coach that we did have to face off, I just could not put Shiftry in there, because in my mindset it was like, this is not going to work, because every team that we had to face had an answer to Shiftry, and I was like 100% certain that the mons that were, you know, countering Shiftry very well would be being brought in my matches. So I did not want to risk using Shiftry in those matches, and maybe I should, you know, have showed some more balls and let Shiftry had some matches. I wasn't, and I can't really say much for Shiftry now. The next up, we have Togedemaru and Drifblim. I'm going to go to these mons over at the same time because they both played 2 times. Drifblim got a kill. In what match was it against? I think it was against Aaron, because no, I think it was against Choiced, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was against Choice. It was against the Sylveon. It killed the Sylveon, I know that. And Togedemaru fended off an Infernape by itself. Now Togedemaru and Drifblim I really wanted to use just because it seems fun to use them in Draft League format, and Drifblim I definitely want to use more. I think I can just have some fun with Drifblim in Draft League format. Togedemaru depends on the team that I draft around it, but Togedemaru and Drifblim, the times that I brought both of these mons, they did what they needed to do. But they did not do much this season that I can really say, you know, they did this good, they did this bad. So all with all, it's a little bit, you know, balanced out how I've used my team. Like the half of my team I've used pretty much how you should use them, and the other half I can do much better if I got an opportunity to use them later on. Now we're going to go to the matches, and that we have those here. So there we go. So we have the New York Brobats. We lost that match with 0-2. That match went with the Latios that didn't Mega Evolve, and I believe I was a little bit pissed off about that, and it happened on later in the season, but it didn't matter that much. And on that match we had a really good beginning in that match where we took control of the match offensively, and I think my opponent just came back from PAX, so that was also a little bit something that was the reason why I was really going well in the beginning of the match while my opponent wasn't really focused. We lost because of the Latios setting up, and then we got completely blown away, but I wasn't really mad about that match. We really did as best that we could. Oregon Ducklets, I can't really remember. The most of these matches I can't really remember because of it being, you know, 2 months ago right now. But we lost then with 4-0, then we lost with 3-0 against Nijmegen Nussleaves, then we lost against the New South Wilmers with 4-0. So we started out very good in week 1, but then we had like a moment where I was like, okay, these mons that I have, a lot of them I haven't used at all. Now I have to adjust myself, and that really didn't work out. We lost against the Tampa Bay Weasels, which was another match where my opponent, who just came into the league, didn't Mega Evolve the first turn, and I was really pissed about that because it now happened to me twice. And afterwards I was like, okay, you know what? Let's take a week off. Let's, calm myself down and let's play the match 1 week later on Showdown, because his Wi-Fi, my opponent's Wi-Fi was also messed up, so we couldn't play it on Wi-Fi, so we had to play it on Showdown. So there were a lot of things in that match where I was just like not in the mood anymore. We still replayed that match. We lost 4-0, but that's just a match that I was not in a happy place at that moment. Then we got a win against the Tasmanian Toxicroaks. Now we got a massive crit there with the Beedrill, and I felt really bad behind it, but that really helped us a lot in that match. And afterwards we slowly pulled that match to us, and we got a 2-0 win there. And even though we got a crit that, wins us the match at that point, it was still an amazing match, and most of the matches that I had against Max Rapture, Coast of the Tasmanian Toxicroaks, they were amazing. So if you have more matches to watch from the Groningen Noctowls, Tasmanian Toxicroaks, be sure to do that, because those matches are always fun. Then we got a very close loss against the Baltimore Roleolus, and then a very close loss to the Wexford Whalers, and then we won against Aaron 2420, coach of the Calgary Infernaves. So from week 7 to week 9, we had a pretty good run. Baltimore Orioles, we could have easily won that match, and the same can go for the match against Wexford Wailords, but we just came on the bad end of those matches. But I was really happy with those matches, especially after the win against Tasmanian Toxicroaks. We slowly began to, feel more comfortable using the teams, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to trade any of my team. And I said before, maybe I could have done 1 or maybe 2 trades, like trading off Shift3 for a mon that is maybe more suitable for my style and for the team, but I wasn't really going on with doing my trades. I was like, you know what, I can do this with the team. And after week 7, I think it was quite sure that I won't reach any playoffs, so I was like, you know what, we're going to finish the season with the mons that we actually have. And the match against Aaron, I was 100% certain that Aaron could have still made playoffs, so I was like, okay, I want to give Aaron the best match possible. I don't want to be like, let's give Aaron a free matchup because I'm out of playoffs and he can still reach playoffs. I want to give it all my all, but then Aaron said like I was already not in reach for playoffs as well, and I was like, oh, that was an amazing opportunity to have a meme team rematch again after the meme team match in the IBA, if I'm not mistaken. It is what it is. Aaron had some funny surprises in that match and made it still difficult for me in that match itself, but we still pulled out the win there with a 3-0 win. And yeah, so I could say that at the beginning of the season I was really, getting adjusted to my team, but then after the week 6 we got slowly adjusted to the team, and I played much more comfortably and, to the best ability of the Pokemon that I have in my possession, if that makes any sense. Well, you have here also the week matches, and if you go to ranking, we can actually see that we end off this season, I think not last place, but yeah. So we ended off in the last place in the Probopass division, but if we look at the Texas Tyrantrums, we're not in the last place, mainly thanks to differential. Just 1 differential and we would have been stuck on last place. Now we're on place 11 in total from all the 12 teams, which, was expected. As I said before, a lot of amazing coaches like Automatic, we have Choiced, Aaron 2420, Max Rapture, we had the Flying Burp, Irish Emerald, Johnny GB, we had Root. Amazing, all of these coaches, amazing coaches, who have, I think, if you count all the draft leagues combined, They have a lot more experience than me, especially in Wi-Fi Draft League format. So it was not a surprise that we would have a hard time in this league. But yeah, I think that's all for now. I think that's everything that I have to say about the MPL Season 7. Again, I really had an amazing time in the league, amazing matches, even though we've lost 7 of them. I mean, in the end, losses don't really matter to me. In the end, if I had an amazing match with amazing moments in it, I'm already a happy coach. And, you know, in the end, entertaining you guys is also something I'm very looking forward to each and every match. That's the most important thing that I would like to give you guys: entertaining matches with entertaining commentary and entertaining moments and surprising moments. I like to surprise my opponents and you guys and even myself. So yeah, in terms of the upcoming draft leagues, there is a project coming up which I don't want to talk too much about because I don't know if I may do that, so I won't be doing that. BBL Season 3 will be coming, and if everything goes well, I will be in that as well. The Token Minorities Summer Showdown will be coming up. I will be a part of that as well. So hopefully we can get as far as possible as that, and I will be providing content for that. And I am in a Showdown League right now, which isn't upload required, but I may be uploading those in batches. So week 1 to week 4 in one video, week 5 week 7 in one video, and so forth. So maybe I will do that. I will try to bring more Showdown content for you guys, like Showdown live sessions. I like doing that. And at the same time, I am trying to bring out some WWE content because I'm really enjoy doing that. And I've been waiting for a few days now before uploading episode 3 of the Raw vs SmackDown 2006 General Manager Mode series. And I have a lot of episodes bulk recorded for that. Like, I have 13 episodes ready to be edited and uploaded. So hopefully that will also be something that will come to the channel ASAP. But I'm also, you know, have stuff with work, stuff with private life. So yeah. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon, because then you get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. And I will see you guys next time in another video, Draft League, WWE, etc. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.